おい、どこ見てんの？ビビったのか？
I am sure many people have heard about the great program Htop. Htop is actually apparently much older than I think, and it is crazy. It is crazy how popular this program is.
I am Hisham. I'm the original author of Htop, a project that started way back in 2004.
Now, you would think with a program like Htop, oh, obviously it must have a minimalist website, right? No, their website literally has a looping JPEG GIF thing in the background. And a YouTube video, so their website's extra bloated. So I don't, despite what the program, how people actually treat the program. But anyone who doesn't know, Htop is a terminal-based process viewer. So I actually have a terminal here, and I'm going to crack open a thing. All you do is you type in Htop, sudo apt install Htop, pacman-s Htop, dnf install Htop, zipper install Htop, brew install Htop, you'll get it. If you're on Windows, sucks to be you got to use task mgr. Htop. Run Htop, you type in the Htop, you get Htop, and then it spits out all of your processes. You're probably thinking, well, this is great and all, but what's the catch of Htop?
It's not spicy enough.
Well, it's nice that it has colors and all, and you can actually use the arrow keys.
But like, what's the issue you've had with Htop?
So yeah, you can use the arrow keys to go up and down, right? And you can also see my processes, and they're spiking rapidly because I have like 2 web browsers and like OBS open. So it's going to be extra bloated. But my issue with Htop is actually when you actually just go through your processes here, you have to use the arrow keys. I have to move my hand over to use the arrow keys. That's depressing. It's like, and because it's written in C as a binary, you can't actually configure it. So you have to use, the arrow keys to move around.
Unacceptable.
It's so sad, guys. This is so sad, guys. Can we get a like in chat for having to be all those people who have to use the arrow keys? I feel so bad for them. Htop's actually very intuitive. So you'll actually see here where there's like F1 for help, and then setup and search, filter, tree, sort by, nice. I don't even know nice minus, nice plus. So if you do like F7, right? F7 or F8, I don't even know what they do. Whatever. Those are the ones you need to know. F9, so if you have F9 here, and you do kill, F9 to kill alacrity. Oh, look at that. That alacrity process died. What do you know? And then I can just go and reopen another terminal and run Htop, and everything is back up and running. So you press F9 to kill. You can even filter. I actually use this one a lot. So filter, you'll see here it's actually organizing by CPU usage. And you can see right now, GNOME Shell is eating me alive. But that is normal when you have lots of things open. It's not as bad as you think. It's still better than Windows. All right, so you click filter, and you can actually search for things. So let's say OBS. I know I have OBS open, and boom, look, it even isolates all those other results. And you'll see here it even has this bubble wrap thing running OBS. That's because when you use OBS, you got to use the Flatpak, as we all know. All right. Oh, whoops. Well, if you wanted to remove let me search OBS again. So if you go back to the search thing here, if you press F4 again, you can press escape to clear, and then you go back to the normal thing. We accidentally pressed Q. By the way, Q quits. That's it. Nothing fancy. But Windward, you're probably wondering, well, why did you get upset at Htop? Me as the Mac normie, I only know it's the only. I mean, I only use activity monitor.
Loved Htop.
I thought you loved.
I thought it was the chosen one.
Turns out, do you want to know why I've come to hate Htop? The arrow keys. I am so done with arrow keys. Naturally, oh, well, you're using GNOME. Why wouldn't you try using, I don't know, like GNOME Task Manager? Do I even have it installed? No, I don't. Well, I don't even have GNOME Task Manager, GNOME System Monitor installed. Which is probably more akin to like what Activity Monitor is, if Activity Monitor actually did more. But, that's just something for another day. But what I decided on instead was I decided to, after reviewing many things on the internet, I settled on Btop because I thought, oh, Btop would be great because it's a literal shell script version of Htop. I'm just kidding, guys. Apparently, this actually hasn't been updated in 8 months. So, or in 2 years actually.
Oh, 2 years. 2 years is a.
But granted, it's a shell
January
script. Granted,
13th
it's a
was
shell.
last
It's a
minute.
shell script, so not that big of a deal. Because it's using standard, it uses only standard utilities. I mean, how could 9.8 thousand people be wrong, right?
Well, they updated the README 8 months ago. So
Right, but do you know
that's-
why they updated the README?
Did they change
Stop
like one word?
using this. Go use this one instead. Btop. Thank you, Aristocratos. He's the guy who makes it. Yes, Btop is the Python version of Btop. I love GitHub. So now we have the Python version, but nope. Then you'll look at the read dates here. What's this? Hasn't been maintained in 2 years or 9 months. What's going on here? What's happening? And then you scroll down and you're like, there's this thing that says Btop. Why don't you go download it here? And I'm sorry, but I am willing to bet in 2 years this one will be obsoleted and it's going to be put into Rust or something. I guarantee it.
Just hand off. It's a hot potato with the project.
Yeah, it's a hot potato. Aristocratos, if you're listening right now, you're probably just putting this, you're stringing me along, and 2 years from now, this is going to be replaced with like a Rust or Go version of like your program. But what is so forget all these old versions of Btop. All right, we now have Btop, Btop++ because it's written in C++, right? But what's the difference between Btop and Htop? And once I show you, I think the differences will actually be very apparent. So again, like Htop, it's everywhere. Debian, Fedora, Arch, SUSE, Mac OS, but not Windows. Windows sucks to be you if you use Windows. You'll never get a good task manager, ever. You're going to be stuck using Task Manager for the rest of your life. So here we have...
I mean, you're already stuck using Windows, so,
we already
Yeah.
told you. All right, so we're going to do Btop, just Btop. Boom. And then you get this thing. And wow, isn't it something? Well, now,
He's
you'll notice...
so pretty.
You'll notice it's a lot prettier, and even has like all these weird colors or whatever. And you also notice, but I also noticed that there's even like, look, there's even like this large interactive thing here, and also everything is more, everything feels, it's like the sort of feeling you get when you look at this. Like everything feels more organized. Look, it even has like records of all of like my cache, like RAM memory. And like all of my free disks, this is not my disk space, but that's free RAM, I think. And then even has like the health of my like SSDs and stuff. It's actually really cool. Then you also have network usage. Yeah, would Htop ever supply you any of these things? No. And wow, look at that. It's literally another command line program. But as we all know, I'm trying to escape the arrow keys, and I'm pressing the arrow keys right now. How do I escape using the arrow keys? This doesn't solve your problem. Well, if you press M, you get to this menu, and it looks like you're playing like Doom or something, where like, the old school Doom 64, where like the menu pops up and you click on the thing. So if you click on the help button here, and they'll even give you like this big cheat sheet of everything you can do. In fact, screw this cheat sheet. I mean, you can actually just look and you'll see highlighted under everything. You'll see in gray, you'll see a certain letter is picked. And if you press that letter, it will actually do the thing. So you'll see, for example, R for reverse. If you press R, it'll actually do your processes starting from the very first process by number. Right? If you press it again, you go back to the way it used to be. You press tree for E, look at that, it's in tree form. Just like the people who really like using tree instead of, or LSD or tree instead of LS, right? You get some really nice things. But that's not all we can do. If we go back to the options again, so remember M to open the menu, you press M, you go to options, hit enter. What's that? You can pick a color theme. Look at all of these color themes. You get so many color themes. Pick the one that you like the most. Because I'm actually using it, I actually use the flat remix dark theme. The flat remix dark theme is actually my personal favorite. It's actually the GTK theme that I use. Cute little tidbit. And it's also the GTK theme of the Linux distribution with a dragon that we can't talk about on YouTube. Okay, we can't talk about it on YouTube, but we can never show it with a terminal, or else we will get in trouble. So I don't want to get in trouble. All right, theme background. Okay, you can even get transparency. Now, transparency is not supported on terminals and anything other than GNOME terminal if you're using GNOME. So I literally have no way of showing this, but I assure you it works. I have tested it before. True color. Yes. Did you know that Htop still uses 16-bit color? No, we are better than that. We're using 24-bit color, and this only works if your terminal supports 24-bit color or 256-bit color. Yes, use a real. If you're using a real terminal, no, all those other terminals like Xterm or like UXRVT or ST won't be able to do this because they do not support 24-bit color, but Alacrity supports 24-bit colors, and GNOME terminal supports 24-bit colors. So, you got plenty of options there. But then the real one, Vim keys. This literally got me to quit using Htop. Imagine
because of course that would convert you.
Because Vim keys are just so good. Like once you use Vim keys, Bram Stoker now owns your Bram Stoker. That's the guy who wrote Dracula. Bram Molinar now controls your life.
Incidentally, Dracula is the color palette that I like.
Oh well,
I think it's Dracula.
Dracula GTK theme is a respectable GTK theme.
Something or other.
So the graphs here, yes, you can change the graph types. Did you know that you can change it from Braille to just bars? You can even see it change in the background from like Braille to blocks. And then the TTY, so it's extra blurry for that ultra immersive, low resolution goodness. But I actually prefer, I like the Braille. I like the look of the Braille or the block. I can't figure out which one, but I personally prefer the Braille. The Braille is my favorite. Clock format, do whatever one works for you, but even if you're American, you should just use military time because it is just far easier.
You just need to like come on guys,
just like minus 12 if you don't know.
24-hour time, it's not hard.
So personally for me, I will just change this to H because I prefer 24-hour time. That is just my personal preference. You do you, but if you use anything else, you're a monkey.
It may be our personal preference, but we just want to let you know that if you use something else, you're wrong. So.
And then we have a battery. This is not relevant because I have a desktop computer. You can show the battery percentage and also selected batteries. So if you have this actually, you're running this on a NAS storage or a server, you can actually check UPS batteries. Yes, that's
actually useful. It like okay, I don't have anything that would use that, but if I did, having that would be wonderful.
And log levels. I'm not a developer. I don't plan on contributing to the project because I do not know C++ at all. I only know C. I'm sorry, and I don't even know a lot of C. All right. CPU bottom. You can even configure, the placement of objects. Do you want the CPU bar at the bottom or the top? I prefer top, just like good old Htop. CPU graph symbol. You can pick individual elements. Yes, it's so good. You can pick, remember with the general setting here, right? Press 1 to go back, right? And when I go down, you'll notice that, the CPU graph symbol, you can pick the graph symbol here, like of the graph symbol, but that's everything. What if you don't like that? What if I told you you could pick an individual graph symbol for each and every element? So when you go into all of these other pages, so if I go into press 3 to go into memory, look at that. These are all the same, and there's even more configuration options, and then there's more and more configuration options. But now we're getting into the point where, this program is starting to feel a little bloated, right? But I do want to talk about one big downside of Btop, okay? And this is a bigger downside than you might think, at least for me, because I'm a junkie, all right? What you do is, if you have Btop, let's say you have multiple windows open, wait, what? Terminal size too small. You must have a window size larger than 24 pixels or 80 pixels. So because of the way my window's oriented right now, I can't actually use Btop because the window is too small. Heck, even if I close this one, it comes back, right? But I open another window, goes away. It doesn't work, it's too small. But you manually raise the wing, you manually raise the thing, boom, comes back. Like magic, as if nothing changed. But alas, that is how it is. And, despite that one major problem, I think I'm going to use this program for the foreseeable future because Htop doesn't use Vim keys. I know there's a fork of Htop that uses Vim keys, but I am not using some unvetted fork of Htop. I'm just going to use something that has actually been vetted, and when you make it into the Linux repos, you made it big. Right? Btop is in Debian and Fedora and Arch and SUSE, and heck, it's even in Homebrew. Right? When you make it in there, you made it big. Right? And
I,
doing
on
great.
the other hand, will use it when I do need to use it, not because of the Vim keys, but because it's pretty.
Oh, so you can impress all, you can rice your
It
your
is
distro
pretty.
on
It's nice.
the you-named Linux subreddit, which got Chris Titus banned.
Okay, let's put it this way. If I was like, I don't know, checking on my Raspberry Pi or something, this would be a much more pleasurable way to check like the status of my Raspberry Pi than Htop, personally. Just like default without having to change anything, this looks a lot nicer to me.
Okay. I don't care
Yeah.
about aesthetics. I care about
I
functionality.
care about aesthetics.
And functionality means I can do things like use Vim keys. Yes, I have yet to find another process manager that actually uses Vim keys. Now, for the longest time, I've actually created my own. So this is a Rofi script that I made that actually lets me kill programs because I just got so frustrated. So like if I go in Btop here, press a thing, boom, Btop was killed. Look, there's even a thing at the top which says that the Btop process was killed. It's actually, isn't that cool, right? But you didn't know that one. But you can still
Wait a sec, but
What?
Btop isn't reporting your temperatures correctly because the temperature of your CPU
Yes,
is
according
like
to
1,000
Freon,
times.
the temperature of my CPUs is like
It's like 1,000 times hotter than the surface of the sun. That's very accurate. And Btop is actually reporting the temperature as like something normal, like 90 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, wow. Wow, disgusting, right? Actually more around 70.
Ugh.
This is what I get for actually using OBS. OBS is getting worse every year. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you like Htop, you'll probably like Btop. Or if you're an ultra minimalist and you don't like Btop, or you don't like the fact they restrict your window because of window sizes and they're really picky, use the one that you like the most. I have yet to find another decent terminal-based task manager, and I think for now my choice is gonna be Btop because Btop I actually really like it a lot. I'm honestly stunned that I didn't find out about this program sooner, and it would have made my life a little more pleasurable. Heck, even if you don't know the Vim keys, you still uses like normie arrow keys by default, and like at least like unlike Htop, like when you're not using Vim keys, you can still press K to kill and T to terminate, right? Because it's like it's literally right here in letters, like what the key bindings are, and it's a lot simpler because you're not having to move your hands all the way up to press the function keys like you do on Htop. That's a little extreme in my mind. Oops. Move these over. All right. Well, leave a like down below. Are you a fan of Htop or are you a fan of Btop? You should leave your favorite one down below. And if any of you say, oh, I don't use a task manager, I did what you did and wrote a D menu script. Well, aren't you a special little snowflake? All right.
And yes, it does work on Mac.
Yes, and both of these work on Mac, by the way. Yes, including this script too, because the script is actually, I made it POSIX compliant and works on BSD too. Granted, you probably have to put it in D menu or FCF to actually get it to work on Mac, but alas. So leave a like down below for if you like Htop or if you like Btop, and then you can go fight about it in the comments to appease the algorithm. Catch you all later. Have a great rest of your week, and enjoy the chaos that is Techtober.